She was sending homework home with them. 2 plus 4 is 6. These are six. Math homework, 2 plus 4 is 6. These are 6th graders.
Right.
She's doing Adjournment. Want the goats checked out.
What's that?
We're gonna have the goats checked.
By this van?
Yeah.
So you might as well do everybody while it's a long way to come.
Yeah, she takes care of it.
Where's she at?
Like,
You can't tell the difference.
no, on the other side.
Call to order this special meeting for the Board of Directors for North Yuba Water District at 8 o'clock. Roll call, please.
President Hansard,
Yes.
Vice President Brown,
Here.
Director Nielsen,
Here.
Director Hawthorne,
Here.
Director Flora, here, General Manager Mopin.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item C is Resolution 19-733, resolution regarding general manager's authority to execute grant applications. With this, I'll turn it over to the general manager.
Mr. President, Board of Directors, as you know, in the normal course of my business, I pursue funding opportunities for the district to offset the cost of replacing aging infrastructure, and as you know, we are a severely disadvantaged community, and so these opportunities help our customers quite a bit. It has been called into question whether or not I'm operating with the approval of the board to pursue grants. It's the purpose of this resolution is for you to confirm that I am operating according to your desires in pursuit of funding.
Any questions, any comments we want to ask about it? To the board?
Comments? This might go more than 3 minutes, but not much more. So a special meeting should be called for urgent situations that are not quite emergencies. This is not an urgent situation. If there's any justification in existence right now to call a special meeting, it would be the general manager's decision to reduce the top 3 water users' allotment. For no reason whatsoever. Even after one of the users' ponds, thank you Charles, put out a major fire in the area. That would justify a special meeting. There's nothing here that could not have waited until the next regular board meeting. The GM called this special meeting to vote on a resolution he authored because he thought it was urgent. If any board member was involved in the creation of this resolution, I'm not aware of it. If this resolution was proposed by any board members, I am not aware of it. There was no prior public involvement in the development of this resolution, and there has been no prior board meeting discussion about whether or not to even put this resolution on an agenda for a vote. This self-authored resolution gives Jeff Mopin unilateral authority over grants and removes the NYWD board oversight of the process. May I remind you that Manager Mopin is being investigated by the state for possible fraud on a grant application right now, and that investigation is not complete. There is no report issued yet. I've contacted the state to verify this. So why with this ongoing investigation would this board surrender oversight of grants? If you approve this resolution, you're grossly irresponsible, offensive in your role as elected officials, and you share a mutual guilt that may be rendered by the investigative agencies. Jeff Mopin has been caught overstepping his authority by the public and by me. Mopin went around the board and behind the public's back to request funding from Yuba Water Agency. A request that would result in adding almost $250,000 to an already $500,000 grant. The audacity of a general manager to overstep this way and to overrun the cost of engineering plans by $225,000 is remarkable and should be punished, not rewarded. Are these engineering plans that the public and I have never seen, are they gold-plated? Because this is a 4 set of engineering plans now for the Forbes-Town Ditch project, and the last set, which gave us 3 different alternatives, cost $200,000. One thing Jeff Maupin and this board really know how to do is to spend, or better yet, waste the taxpayers' and ratepayers' money. Maupin and you, President Hansard, were caught violating the boundaries of your authority. Now Maupin is attempting to cover wrongdoing by authoring a resolution to give him the very authority that he violated, and calling a special meeting of the board to approve it, thereby covering his hind end when he goes back to a Yuba Water Agency tomorrow to request this additional funding without talking to the board or informing the
Time.
public.
Thank you.
So I'll just send the
Thank
rest
you.
of this to the territorial for publication, since you're not gonna allow me to finish this.
Thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Anyone else?
I'd just like to make a comment that, I've been on this board now for 2.5 years or so. It's been very clear, that we have always encouraged the manager to reach out for grants. And the comment that he would have oversight of grants is totally incorrect, because any grants that we'd accept, we would have to approve. So I applaud your efforts, I encourage you to continue. Your efforts at grants allows us to try to do things that our ratepayers could never afford to do. That's you folks out there. So he's not hurting you, he's helping you. So thank you for your efforts.
Number 3 on this resolution, nothing in this resolution authorizes the general manager to execute any agreement accepting any outside funding for district projects without the district's board review and approval of such agreements. That basically says it. The other 2, he's always, in my opinion, had the ability to go out and find funding. That's, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, him doing his job. Other people here have gone out and found funding as well. None of it can actually happen unless we approve it. So the idea that we're handing oversight of grants to him, that came out of thin air completely. Instead of relying on the first 2, since you're so concerned about him running amok, concentrate on the 3rd position on this resolution. He has to get our approval. The monies that are coming are involved in a project that we approved 2.5 years ago. The pursuit of monies and plans and research information to pipe the upper ditch. This isn't coming out of the blue. He does not come in and say, oh, tomorrow I want to do something, and then go out and find funding for it and bring it back to us, where if we approve the funding, then we end up approving this project. That's never happened. It's never happened. So, well, I'll leave it at that. Number 3 on here covers and sort of negates everything that was just said.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah, Jeff, I just wanna commend you for bringing this to us in a resolution form. I believe. Thank you. I feel that this is an effort to be transparent. That's what we've been requested from the public, and here it is. And now it's plain as day, exactly just what Director Nielsen said. Item 3, nothing is gonna be approved without board approval. It's right here in front of us.
So who runs this board exactly?
Excuse me, I have the board, I have the floor.
Mhm.
Thank you. That being said, keep it up. You're doing
see anything in here that says that Jeff is gonna go out, find a grant, sign the paperwork, accept the money, start the project. I don't see anything like that in this resolution. This resolution helps us get funding for projects that we have agreed to do, and it helps us get ahead of the game by having funding from other sources other than the ratepayers and whatever our bank account has at that moment. So I don't agree that there's some slippery way for somebody to do something that nobody knows about. I don't believe that that's part of this resolution, but I know that there's a group that are trying to say that everything we do is some backroom slippery deal, but that's all falsehoods.
Okay. Public comment.
Motion, second.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution.
I'll second it.
Okay. Public comment. We have a couple cards. I'll start with these. Donna Corson.
You ready for me to
Yeah.
speak? I disagree that you say that you're in the light and that you're transparent. You have said that you come in and you talk to him privately, and then you make a decision on a consent item. It's not discussed at the board meetings. Very little discussion is made. I really disagree with your saying that you're transparent and that you're in the light. Time after time, we bring these things up and you put us down, you don't wanna discuss it. You've already made a decision. Going in and meeting with him separately is legal, but it is a violation to our trust. And it seems to be serial. And there is one thing that at the workshop that Mr. Hawthorne brought up about the ethics training, Angela Windley on March 31st, 2017, said that the infrastructure of the system is the board's special responsibility. Wells, pump houses, the office, all equipment, tanks, ditches because it belongs to the community members. And that's what people hear, why we're here, because we wanna know what's going on, we wanna say our piece, we want it to be heard and not disagreed with, or looked down on, or frowned on. We want you to take it into consideration. What else can I say? Thank you.
Thank you.
Charles Sharp.
Good morning. Where's the podium? How many months has it been? No podium? So, good morning. I've never been here at 8 a.m. before. It's a new thing. I guess you're here to affirm that Manager Muffin has total power to act on behalf of the board. So how is that different than it has been? Some of you said it's just continuation. So why are you even having to say that first? A couple of weeks ago, your general manager asked the Yuba Water Agency to make a grant for $225,000. But Manager Muffin made a mistake. He did it on intern day. In no way was there going to be any controversy on water agency intern day. Your general manager managed to embarrass the Yuba Water Agency. And that is no small feat. Today we have Chair Hasty here from the Yuba Water Agency. So I apologize for that, but that's what I saw happening. Your general manager seems to be obsessed with this piping project, secret piping project, because he puts things in without going through the board initially. That's what I see. He seems more interested in what he can get out of the water district than what is good for the water district customers, which is neat. This gentleman, this board is very weak. There's scant leadership. One time Gary, I think, stuck up his pinky and dared to suggest some kind of community outreach, and your general manager blew the pinky off with a double barrel shotgun. I'm embellished my writing when I write things, so. Add a little more.
Makes it more colorful.
Colorful, right, exactly. Thank you. You you, Doug, you're very professional at the RCD meetings, but here you have heated arguments with one of your fellow board members. It is just unprofessional. Your general manager intimidates you that no one else can do the job, but never lets you forget how much it's going to cost you to the district to fire him. When your general manager says jump, you guys say, yes, sir, how high, sir? And that's very evident in this meeting today. It's like, he says, do this, and you say, yes, we must. So, remember this community center meeting you all asked, a couple of years ago? You came to the customers, made an outreach to them, and at that time you had an excellent public relations image. But now you have to hire a highly trained PR expert, Crystal Martin, and try to make something different out of this chaos here. You want to blame everybody else for your troubles, but it's more that you are creating them. The more nonchalant you are,
Okay, thank you, Charles.
the more you're gonna get beat.
Thank you. We're at our time. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Marieke Vermee. I am very interested in grants from every place to fix the water hardware. It would be very nice to have ditches repaired, leaks stopped, water deliveries continuous, but I don't trust them. And I don't trust the UA County Water Agency, however wonderful they may be. I first, as a member of the public, would like to understand that there are plans, not that there are 4 different plans and no one ever sees them, that there are plans, that there is a budget, that there is an oversight of the budget by our darling board, that there's been open discussion before we put the district, and therefore us, into another 15 million debt, 100 million debt. I don't know where this is going. And I would like to see you discuss plans, grants, budgets, possibilities, impossibilities, timing schedules, and plans. As far as I know, he could be requesting $20 million for a new house. I don't know. And I don't have the feeling that you would like us to know. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Sir?
Well, we feel very underrepresented, and our local person has not explained why our water was cut in half. There's no numbers given, that we only have this much water. There's no figures given. It's just tomorrow you get half the water you've been paying for. I think that's very unfair. I think our representative from my district is not doing a very good job. And we've invited him to come and speak with us, and he won't. And it's like you guys all just back up Mr. Maupin and don't have any sympathy for people that are trying to grow crops here. I mean, it's like you all live up here in the highlands and you don't grow feed for your animals, and you don't try and keep the fire safe. The fire safety is so important. To cut our water in half, I think you're not doing your job. Thank
Who's
you.
your representative, Timo? Director? Who's your
Hawthorne. And you didn't get cut in half. I got cut in half. Charles got cut in half. And then tomorrow, is everybody else gonna get cut in half?
I hope
There's
not.
no explanation, there's no tomorrow that's gonna happen like this, get ready, get your pumps out, do this, do that.
Okay,
Just mañana, nothing.
thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right, hearing none. So I need to, we have a first, second. Can we get a roll call, please, for the resolution?
President Hansard,
Yes.
Vice President Brown,
Yes.
Director Nielsen,
Yes.
Director Hawthorne,
Yes.
Director Floor.
No.
Thank you. It's 4 yeses, 1 no. So resolution passes. Resolution number 19-733 passed. Okay. I need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second. Thank you.
Well done.
Did you stop?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we get a roll call, please, for the adjournment?
President Hansard,
Yes.
Vice President Brown,
Yes.
Director Nelson,
Here, yes.
Director Hawthorne,
Here.
Director Floor.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Total time.